This is the intro to my One Book July for 2017. The biggest thing that I realized is that A5 is my best size, or half letter equivalent. And the hard part about it is when you're using an A5, it's just really big when it comes to trying to put it in a bag and trying to just hold it on its own. It's kind of cumbersome. So what I found is I needed something that had handles, and the ones that have handles that come from Franklin Covey they're okay, but there's really only one version, and I don't know, it just seemed a little too bulky, and I figured what I do is I try to make something myself. I kind of DIY'd this from a handbag that I was going to throw out because it was kind of worn in different sections, so I figured I'd give this a try. I started out with a Franklin Covey classic size, which is an A5 or half letter equivalent, and I was using it, but again, it was a little bit hard to carry. Took these handles off of a bag, and I just went ahead and then cut through the stitching. For some reason, it still looks like it's stitched, so it kind of looks nice still here. It's not perfect because this was my first attempt, but I used E6000 glue, this guy here, to just glue the handles on. I kind of put a big glob, so I did have some of it run out through the sides here. I tried when I did the other side. There's not as much glue, but after about a week, when I put just a really light coating of the glue, it seemed like it just was not enough, because after a week it popped. One of these sides popped off, so I put it back on, and it seems like it's holding really well now. This is working out well for just hanging on to it, and because of the pockets, I can actually use it as a purse in addition to being a planner. You can see that it's kind of thick, kind of got a nice look on the side. You can see different things sticking out the bottom. I don't know if you noticed, but I have little tabs on the top, and I've tried a couple different Franklin Covey pages, but let me show you what it looks like inside. So technically I'm counting this whole thing as my one book, even though there's multiple things inside. And then I'm counting one pen holder instead of one pen. So I have the Hobonichi multicolored pen that comes with the Hbonichi Cousin, or the regular, and then my Pilot Ergo type of pen. That's a refillable one, which I love. And I need both. It winds up that the fountain pen that I have, this guy here, it's just really wonderful on the Hobonichi paper, and so that's why I love this one. And then this one just works really well in general if I'm trying to color code things, though I haven't been very consistent in color coding, and it just writes really well, and I just slip it in the pen holder. So that looks pretty simple there. The way that I'm working it is that there is a pocket, and I can pull this out so you can see, but there's a pocket here, so I take the back cover and I just slip it in here. This one has a little pocket, and then it also has a little zip here. I keep my Cocoa Daisy kind of pad here, some little pictures, marker dots, and then some other Cocoa Daisy stuff there. And the way that this fits is I put this back cover in here, and then it fits perfectly, so I can close it. I don't mind that it's sticking out a little bit here, because if you'll see, when I open this up, I've got a tab for the month view, weekly view, and then for the current day. This is technically month and weekly for actual plans, dated events, and then the journal is things that I'm journaling on, things that I want to remember in terms of notes. It's different than what I'm going to put in my, and in a sense I can do a little bit of memory keeping, like this is a feather that I got from a wedding where we found this, and then one of the little kiddos was writing a note to me. So I love these kind of memories. And then this is the actual planner part. Just wanted something pretty to look at, so this is one of the papers from Cocoa Daisy. I was in the personal size. Personal size just seemed too small for what I wanted to do. It was just a little bit hard to write in, and it didn't have the note writing space that I wanted. This is the Flora inserts. Originally, when I tried out the original Franklin Covey sheets that I had, I wound up using these Seasons ones. Lines though are pretty small, so when you go to the Flora ones, you can see they're a little bit bigger, so they're a little bit easier to write in. And these I've been using as check off what I need, and then once everything's been forward, if I didn't finish something, then I was just shredding these and kind of composting them. It's really just a worksheet. So this for today, July 2nd, I put all of the items down that I wanted to do today, using the Franklin Covey system where A's are the must-dos. I happened to set up some A's. Once you have all of the A's, B's, and C's set up, then you number them. But I had started at the beginning and I realized, oh, there's something that I must do instead. So I actually have this as my A1, even though I have one up here. Then you just check them off as you do them. And this way, I'm only looking at the day at a time. This one has morning, afternoon, and evening that I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do some tracking here or relabel this as projects. So I'm going to try to figure out this week how I'm going to use this, because I just got these a couple of days ago. And then this side's for notes and kind of scratching ideas here. And if something was permanent that I really like kind of finalize, then I would either take a picture of it and then put it into Evernote, or I put it into the Hobonichi Cousin so that I can remember it. I do think just to try it out for this month, I am going to consider doing, let me show you here, there's an index for each of the months, and if I could pull that one up here, this is the July index, so you can put like important dates here and then refer back to the month. So for this month, I'm not going to compost and shred them after I finish using them. I'm going to keep them, but I imagine it's just going to be too thick. But I thought one of the nice things that could happen is that I could take a look and see, okay, this was a reasonable list. They were all A's. They were all things that I needed to do, and I got them all done. Whereas like already here, I've only gotten 2 out of maybe 15 things done. And I think if I go back and take a look at a month at a time, I might get a picture of exactly what's doable in a certain time period and make more reasonable lists. So I might do it to kind of reflect and do a monthly review, and then after the monthly review, then get rid of the pages that I don't need, because I don't think I'm going to need this for memory keeping. This is something else that I've been thinking about, because this Flora Franklin Covey doesn't come with a tracker for a master task list. What I'm going to do is maybe turn this business expenses, which I don't need, into my master task list, because master task lists I actually thought was pretty useful. So this is what it looks like, personal and business, and that's probably how I'll divide this up. And then things that I'm not actually putting on a day, I'll put on this master task list. And then if there are things that don't need to be done eventually for that month, I can either just not move them forward, or I can put them into the projects area when I'm doing my weekly review in OmniFocus, where I'm keeping track of the bigger projects. That is this one. In case you're wondering what these look like, then I can't wait to get to this month. I wish they were all this color. And then if you saw, the spring was more of this kind of hot pink color, which is fine. I'm not really a hot pink type of person, but that's okay. And then I just got this, and in case you were wondering, I happened to get everything from the thrift store. This Franklin Covey classic, I think, was maybe $4, and the insert here, and then I also got a page lifter, this with another day timer classic size that was for I believe $2.99, which was a great steal. I even got a Filofax little mini one for $3.99 yesterday, so I've been kind of getting pretty lucky lately. And again, I just can close this up and then carry this like a bag, and then this is going to be my July 2017 one book. And if you're interested, I do plan on doing the Go Big or Go Home challenge, and I think that's really eventually getting a list in OmniFocus of all of my projects and actually using a true GTD weekly review to review all those projects and eventually get project pages of some sort to create my next actions. And I didn't show you that, but just so that you can see that portion here, let me move this over, is on the weekly, I have my timed events. I have a master calendar that is set up in Outlook for work, and I put some personal things, but it's pretty much all work related items. But because meetings for us, as long as, you know, it seems reasonable, I'll just accept them. But if I'm not actually looking and kind of mapping out all of the different meetings that I have coming up for the week, I won't realize what's on my list. And if I use my phone, just the screen's a little bit too small to be able to see everything all together. So this is what I prefer. And then if you can see, what happens is when I open up a day, I can actually see pretty much Monday through Friday. So I can look at the work week and then look at what I'm doing for that day and make sure that the tasks that I'm assigning for the day are actually going to be doable given all of the meetings or responsibilities that I have for the week. And then this is going to be the project section where I'm going to have the maybe highlighted personal research, and this is another Judy Just Fellowship type of projects that I have ongoing, and then kind of optimize what I'm putting on this task list based on trying to do the next actions for each of these. But you can see I don't have the full description of the projects here, and so I'm going to need to figure out a way to have some reference. I think I'm going to use the Hobonichi and use the Saturday date or Saturday pages and Sunday pages to be able to write out my projects and to be able to have like the goals, timeline, and different actions, and then be able to have that kind of organized so I can refer back to that. But I just love this. It's just really pretty. I open it up like this, and I think it just looks great. I got my cousin on left side, the planner pages here. If you're interested, I have also these rainbow colored A through Z tabs, and these I keep for notes, like, so maybe it might be books to read if I'm just noting something down really quickly. If I don't have anything, I'll just put like a little sticky note if I need to ask someone. So I also use it as my kind of list of things that I need to ask someone. So if I know I have to ask this person or keep this information, it's under a specific tab. And that way, if it's just like a quick reference item, I have that right here. Alright, this is my one book for July, and I will give you another update probably on the 4th of July because I really didn't get a chance to talk about projects. Thanks, bye.